we use or things that we do in order to quench our thirsts or our desires, but we find that we have to keep on going back to them, and we go back and we go back and we go back again. But those things never really quench our thirst. We just walk away from them still feeling thirsty, still feeling that our desires haven't been met or fulfilled. Hello, Parkside family. I just want to share a devotional thought with you that's been on my heart this week, particularly as we've been in the middle of a heat wave. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when it gets this hot, I don't really want to eat too much. The last thing I want to do is eat. I actually prefer to drink. And I think that my 3-year-old daughter has been very much the same. You know, she hasn't really been wanting to eat too much food. She's really been wanting to drink just to keep herself hydrated. And it's been the same for me. But it just so happens that a few days before the heat wave really set in, we had our baby dedicated at our home. And so we had some family round, and we happened to have juice available in the house, because you see, we don't normally buy juice. Because we had guests, we had juice available. And there was juice left over from the event. And so when the heat wave really set in, there was plenty of juice in the fridge in order to meet that need for drink. And so, you know, I was really hot, really thirsty. So I went to the fridge and I took out a carton of apple juice. You know, not a big carton, one of those little cartons. And I just started to drink because I was so thirsty. And after having that carton of apple juice, you know, it tasted good. I really enjoyed the juice. But after drinking it, I still felt thirsty. And so I thought, okay, well, I will just have another one. And so I went back to the fridge, took another carton of juice, and I just drank it. But I was still thirsty. And so I went back to the fridge again and had another carton of juice. And the same thing happened the next day. So I dealt with all the apple juice. So now I started to move on to the orange juice. And so again, it was hot. I was feeling thirsty. So I went to the fridge, I took a carton of cool orange juice, and I just drank it. I enjoyed it and it tasted good, but I was still thirsty. And so I went back to the fridge again, took another carton of juice, drank it, and was still thirsty. And this is about sort of 10 p.m, 10:30 p.m. at night. And I thought, you know, I'm not going to go to bed thirsty. So I went back to the fridge again, got another carton of juice, drank it. But the same thing, I've drank all this juice. I kept going back and back and back and back to the fridge to get this juice. But after drinking it, I felt that I was still thirsty. And so 10:30 at night now, I thought I need to quench this thirst. So I went downstairs to the kitchen, I got a glass of water and I drank it. And as soon as I drank water, immediately my thirst was quenched. And there's a lesson in there. I think that, you know, that sometimes, you know, we have desires, we have needs, we have thirsts. And sometimes we try different things and different ways and means of trying to quench that thirst. For me, it was the apple juice first. But I kept on going back and back and back again because it tasted good, but it just wasn't quenching my thirst. The apple juice didn't really work, so I tried the orange juice, but I had to keep on going back and back again, and it just wasn't quenching my thirst. It was only when I drank water that my thirst was truly quenched. And sometimes, you know, there are things that we use or things that we do in order to quench our thirsts or our desires. But we find that we have to keep on going back to them, and we go back and we go back and we go back again. But those things never really quench our thirst. We just walk away from them still feeling thirsty, still feeling that our desires haven't been met or fulfilled. You know what that particular thing is. You know what your particular apple juice or orange juice is that you keep on going back to that isn't quenching your thirst. And I want to suggest to you today that the only thing that can really quench your thirst is Jesus. You know, Jesus is the living water, and in John chapter 7 verse 37, Jesus says, if anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. So whatever your need is, whatever your thirst is, you've been doing things or using things to try and quench that thirst, and you know that you have to keep on going back and back and back again, and it just isn't quenching your thirst, it isn't meeting your need. I want to invite you today to try Jesus, because he has promised that whatever your thirst may be, he is able to truly quench it and meet your need.